Hello everyone, this is China Paradigm, where we, Dashi Consulting, interview seasoned entrepreneurs in China. Hello everyone, I'm Matthieu David, the founder of Dashi Consulting, a China market research company based in Beijing, Shanghai, and Hong Kong. And Dashi Consulting has its podcast called China Paradigm. And today I am with Sarre. You are the co-founder of Free Entrepreneurs. Not only for entrepreneurs, we can see that you have founded other companies, you are involved in other missions and programs, but the one we are going to talk about today and the one you want to talk about is Free Entrepreneurs. You have been in China since 2012, so it's already a while, already 7 years, and you had various experiences as an engineer and as an entrepreneur as well. So Free Entrepreneurs, and I'm reading how you introduce it yourself, is an online to offline platform to initiate collaboration and open innovation collaboration between startup ecosystem, Chinese startup ecosystem, and overseas companies, medium to big, I believe. So about some numbers, you shared some numbers in your presentation. I'm going to share it right now. You got about 3,000 members since 2017, because you started like 2 years ago, so not that long actually for Free Entrepreneurs. 3,000 members, 35 cross-border programs, and I think we need more explanation of what it is exactly and what you do with Free Entrepreneurs to understand what is a cross-border program. 25 entrepreneurship projects, 20 corporate innovation projects. I believe it's linked to open innovation, and 50 offline events. So 50 offline events is like one every 2 weeks if we take 2 years as the age of the company. And 20 engagements with Accelerator and 30 engagements with communities. So we see that you are very active within Free Entrepreneurs over the last 2 years. So could you tell us more about now an update on the numbers? How the numbers have to be updated and what you do with Free Entrepreneurs?
So let me introduce myself. Luis Sarre. I am actually, I have been in China since 2008. I arrived as an employee. I was working for a company, and then I transitioned not to be an entrepreneur. And this started pretty much at 2012, as you mentioned. What I am doing now with Free Entrepreneurs, basically, as a summary, I would say that we are connecting Chinese startups ecosystem with the major global hubs of innovation and vice versa. So we are supporting startups, corporates, that are located in China, that they want to grow up and develop themselves, have access to market in China, as well as we are helping them to connect with the outside world, And we are doing similar thing for other entrepreneurs that are willing to explore China.
Could you give an example to illustrate and to make it more concrete, specific, and easy to understand? Could you give an example of what you've done to connect those hubs in China and the West, a specific initiative?
Yeah, well, basically, for instance, startups that are in China, that they are looking for cross-border operations. They want to grow with targeting markets in Mexico or Latin America. Then we help them to understand the specifics on those markets. We connect them with who could be a relevant partner in those markets. And similar things we are doing in the other way, We are helping specifically some startups from South Korea, for instance, that they want to develop their business in different areas, VR, health, edutech, different areas, and we are explaining them what it means to arrive to China, what it means to be competing with almost every country in China.
How do you charge them? Do you charge it's a consulting? Do you charge through a program? How do you charge them?
Yeah, we have different revenue stream models. When we're talking about the startups, Basically, when we commit to help them, we are getting a share on the success, on the revenue that they are getting, not necessarily equity. No, every case we treat it in different ways. We are only asking for equity when we are actually participating in the development of the technology or the solution, or we are co-authors of the business model, no, that is going to be innovative in the market. But basically, with the startups, is a share from the revenue that they are making once they are making revenue. And in the other side, we work with corporates, no, or with accelerators, incubators, and we get a consultancy fee from them. So we participate in the growing up process of their startups.
How do you know the sales volumes they are making? Because they don't have to disclose you the numbers. So how do you know if you introduce them to Latin America, how much they are going to make, and how much percentage you should take, and so on? I know the percentage, you know it because it's contract, but how do you know the sales volume they do in Latin America?
Well, basically, we have done this in the other way, no? Startups that are coming to China to explore the market. We call it like an entrepreneurial mission. They arrive to China. We help them to understand the market. We connect them with potential customers. We actually facilitate, no, the relationship with them, and eventually they get contracts or services requests in China, and then it's when we are participating. When it's in Mexico or in Latin America, we have not been in that position yet, but we are building a network of collaborators, no, or ambassadors, local ambassadors, who will take care of the revenue streams in those countries, no, and we will have a deal with these flag holders of entrepreneurs in those countries.
I see. It seems an ideal situation for startups because they may not have a lot of resources. They want to be very effective. They want to get sales. So when you are offering them to find clients in China, seems a good solution. But on your side, if they pay you only with success, how are you able to actually finance this effort to find clients? Because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of time to actually find clients in very specific industry for very specific product, very specific services, which could be B2B, which could be B2C as well. Actually, both of them have challenges.
Yeah, correct. Well, yeah, this has been a process. We started doing a lot of things without charging anything. Basically, we started developing a community, a network of entrepreneurs to build up the trust, no, between these persons. Basically, trusting, no, myself and the team that is behind for entrepreneurs. And then we started adding knowledge, but most of this was maybe a sponsorship, a collaboration. So we just build up the network without getting a lot of revenue. These days, yeah, I would not say that we commit to every single project. We have interviews and we have conversations with a lot of different players, either corporates or startups, and we only commit to help those where we have the network and the possibilities to bring value to the table. Otherwise, we just honestly say, no, sorry, at this time, or we are not ready. We don't have the right contact. We don't have the right channel to help you, no? But if we see the opportunity, we take it and we push it fast as possible in order to get the benefits, no? Because it's at the end, we believe that startups, early stage entrepreneurs, they need, at the end, it's a business, no? At the end, it's a matter of revenue. And they need to keep growing in this area in order to develop the full potential, no, of their ideas.
Would you mind sharing one example of a company you have helped to introduce and find clients, like a specific in a specific product, specific industry, to not necessarily tell us the name of the company, but at least what they do and how you help and how it is now?
Yeah, well, we helped them recently at the beginning of the summer. We received a delegation of entrepreneurs, 12, 15 of them, each of them with different projects.
From which country? The delegation from where?
Specifically from Mexico. I am originally from Mexico, so
I see.
we got them from Mexico. And one of the projects is related with visual communication. This is very common to see now in events that you have a live, you have a team that is collecting, the insights of the what has been said in a conference, what has been said in an event, and they put it in a graphical way, like an infographic, So this team, they are very creative, very unique. They have a very their own style and their own way to express things. When they arrived to China, we did a couple of events just for free to showcase their capabilities. We cut the eyes of a couple of larger startups organizations and larger groups in China, and we got a request, a paid contract for them, So we coach them how to deal with these things. Just sensibilize them on the price, local prices, how the negotiation works in China. They did the job. Everybody was very satisfied. When they finished the opportunity or the entrepreneurial experience in China, they were back in Mexico, and the customer called them back again. They wanted to have another work, and we managed to do it remotely, which was also a big step, because we broke the barrier of the frontier. They are able to deliver their work from Mexico to China, Asia, or whatever they are. And now they are sketching business models in order to do this in different regions.
So what typically is the commission you would take in those cases? Like it would be 10%, would be 20, 30%?
I would say it depends. It depends on the volume, but it's something between 5 to 20% of the profit.
Of the profit, not the sales.
Exactly. Because if I take all the profit, makes no sense. They will never talk to me again.
But how do you know the profit?
It's a shared.
It's a profit sharing model. I understand, but it's very hard for you to know the profit because you don't know their fixed cost. You can know the variable cost, but it's very difficult.
But that's one of the things. Our model is based on trust. If they trust me, I will help them to develop their business. I will connect them with my personal network. I will put my reputation and my word in the different deals or things that I am doing here, and I expect the same thing in their side. It's true. Maybe they are telling me that the cost is 100 when the operational cost may be 20. It's true, but at least we have a certain level of communication where I have visibility, of what is going to be the profit, and there is a benefit for us, And trust is the only way long-term relationships will work, If it's not work, maybe it could work one time. If it's not working a second time, well,
sure.
Good news is that we are building a strong network. We are not growing exponentially, but we are growing, organically, with I would say solid relationships in China,
when you say
Latin America.
When you say network, are you talking about network in China of potential customers? Are you talking about network of whatever it is, like accelerator, big companies, and so on, or is the network in Mexico? What the word network? Could you define it more? How you use it here?
Yeah, well, when I am talking about network or community, it's all the contacts that we have been building up throughout all these years. I've been in China 11 years, so some of the contacts, some of these relationships are coming from that far in time. So I am talking about corporates, I am talking about other communities, I am talking about co-working spaces, incubators, accelerators. Some of them specialize in different verticals, startups, relationships with universities, organizations that are doing startups competitions and forums. So the network is, we have been working very hard to develop a community that is well connected in the startups ecosystem in China. And we are working actively to build up these relationships in other countries. Most of them are startups or corporates that want to connect with Asia or China.
Mm-hmm. My initial understanding when I read your presentation, where you were talking about cross-border programs and corporate innovation programs, open innovation product, I was initially thinking that actually your clients were mainly big companies or medium to big companies which wanted to partner with Innovation Hub, because a lot of those companies, and that's what we call open innovation, those big companies or medium-sized or big, depending on the definition of big, how big it is. They look for innovation, and they know their structure, their company is not the best fit for innovation because not that agile. So was my understanding partially correct, that it still is also part of what you do, or actually it's not at all, and I had a wrong understanding?
No, you are right. One of the let's say, the key things that we are doing is that we are pushing open innovation projects. So we are building the community, we are adding knowledge through different activities, but that is not enough. We are pushing the entrepreneurs and the startups to get things done, to get revenue, to materialize, in digital or hardware solutions. And in this point, in many cases, the startups are, let's say, they have the core idea of their solution, their proposal, but it's still not refined, And we are executing a lot of open, we call them, it's open innovation workshops, where we sit down in the same table, all kinds of I call them interlocutors, Could be the user, the manufacturer, the person that is doing related with regulations, maybe someone that is indirectly connected in the supply chain of whatever they are developing, and we just put all of them to talk around a specific idea, and facilitate the conversation in order to generate ideas or the concept of if you are doing design-driven innovation, you are talking about the development of new meanings, of the development of new meanings, for products and services. And that is exactly what we are trying to help startups through open innovation workshops.
Would you mind sharing a specific example of an innovation workshop you worked on? You mentioned again startups, but are you working with bigger groups, more established groups to work on the innovation?
Yeah, that's another area, because you cannot talk about the startups if you don't have the corporate side, and vice versa. With the corporates, we have worked more on the workshops on how to build up innovation culture, how to build up this entrepreneurship mindset, including the ideation the ideation process, the discovery of the ideas, the incubation and launch of ideas within the corporation. No? And we have done a couple of more than a couple. No? We have done several projects on the corporate side, but it's more in the how to build up the innovation culture. No, and we have different we use different tools. No, not design thinking is one of them. It's very well known for several decades. Now it's about design sprint or agile acceleration, Scrum, incremental flow techniques, or things like extreme programming and things like that. No, but these are only tools that we use discretionally depending on the project, depending on the scope of the activity.
You're a co-founder of Free Entrepreneurs. Could you tell us more about your partners? How did you, who they are?
My partner, his name is Matthieu David. He's another Mexican also living here in China. We met, let's say, through events and through the startup ecosystem activities here in China. He's focused on technologies for travel industry, technologies for financial, and digital economy. His background is public policies. Let's say this kind of background he has. My background is mechanical engineering, so I am focused on mobility, artificial intelligence of things, and smart city solutions. So we have very clear our areas of expertise, and at the same time we are a very good complement because we are connecting the tech approach plus the public policy financial approach in different projects.
Is that the thing, actually? In your past experience in China, I found very interesting that you had experience at Coros Auto and Segula Technology, which gave you actually an opportunity to understand technology between West and China. And as far as I remember, Coros Auto was a Israeli-China joint venture, isn't it?
Correct.
What did you learn from those experiences at Coro and Segula?
Yeah, well, that is one of my competitive advantages because yes, I am a startup myself. I am an entrepreneur, very well connected and very well, actively, participating in China ecosystem. But I have also more than 25 years of corporate working experience, So that gives me a lot of understanding on how things work with corporates. I did my core is mechanical design engineering. So I've been developing products from concept to regular production in for different industries, automotive industry most of the time, power tools, machinery. Special gadgets, and lately smart products and electric vehicles, for the last mile mobility. So I have a very broad understanding on how things work on the corporate side and as an entrepreneur. I have founded and I have done different companies throughout my life. Some of them are a complete failure, but now we are working in a model that is kind of working.
So my question was, you are head of innovation of Innovatio, and I'd like to understand how you articulate both commitments, both missions at Free Entrepreneurs and Innovatio. I understand that there are links, a lot of links, because it's all about innovation. It's all about testing products, creating new products, services, and so on. But how does it work together? How do you balance your life between those two missions?
Well, yeah. Now you are mentioning, no, yeah. Innovatio is my another, yeah, it's another startup that I have here in China. In that one, we are focused on engineering services, no, so bringing high-end engineering services to the reach of entrepreneurs, no, and not only entrepreneurs. I have the fortune to have a couple of corporate customers, but with Innovatio, we are doing, let's say, the design itself, no? If we're talking about developing a functional prototype, no, something that requires mechanical components, no, it requires some CAD modeling, testing, simulation, all these things is a little bit beyond, no, or far away from entrepreneurship. So all of
It's lagging it a bit. Sorry for the interruption. Now we're back. We were talking about innovation and free entrepreneurs and how you articulate both of them. And you were saying that innovation was much more about designing and helping to build a product through I reading online. So UX, model-based subsystem engineering, digital twin technology, concept definition, and so on. Could you give a specific example again for innovation on what you do for your clients? Is it, I have an idea with an IoT product, connected product, and you come up with a specification so then I can talk with the factory? Is it what you do, or is it different?
Well, what we do with Innovatio, if we're talking about digital twin technology or model-based subsystem engineering, is actually the way to build up a virtual representation of the product, having a virtual representation of the product plus information of the performance and behavior of the product in the field, with the ability to recalibrate, no, all this and bring it back to the design, build, and the actual performance of the product in the field. To make it simple, a digital twin is, for instance, a smartphone is a digital twin. The companies that are selling to us, no, these smartphones, either Apple, Huawei, Samsung, they have a virtual representation of every single piece of equipment that is with us, and they have the ability to see exactly, no, which components, what configuration, which serial number, model, and they understand how the battery is performing, how many calls we are doing, where we are, you know, with the GPS information. So all the performance of the equipment, and when we have to change a component, or we have to change, we want to have a maintenance of our phone, they know exactly, no, which piece of equipment is going to come to the lab, no, to make the fix.
I see.
If you push this to another level, to any IoT device, then we are talking about digital twins for automotive applications, for industrial applications, etc. No, and that is let's say the next level on product development. No, because this brings not only speed, this also brings competitive advantage on understanding on the product itself, so you can improve the marketing of it, and reduces the cost, no, because everything is done virtually before you build actually any product. So,
are you able to work on every product, and how you would be able to work on a product? If I want to build a smartphone, would you be able to help with innovation? If I want to build an IoT to connect my chair to take my weight, would you be able? What kind of product can you help designing?
Well, in those two projects that you just described, they seem to be very far away from each other. But at the end, if it's about design engineering, so it's about of course, I cannot design every single product, and I cannot support the development of every single product, no, because I am not a specialist in every single field of knowledge, no. But what I can help is to define the technical requirements, to translate the needs and what the needs from the market, the wants from marketing, into technical specifications, no, or technical approaches.
How do you know them? Do you communicate with the factories? You have a past experience, like long experience as engineer in different companies. I understand this background, but technology is updating every year, every even 3 months. And how do you understand how to communicate with the factories and the spec? It seems, I think, for a lot of people who are listening to us, a very difficult part of creating a product is to communicate with the factory. And I'll give you an example. We see a lot of Kickstarters in the West, on Kickstarter, Indiegogo, and so on. They have a brilliant idea. It's going to solve problems, pain points, and so on in your daily life. But when it comes to actually execute it, they fail. And I remember that I paid for a product to check my health in a bowl, whatever it was, and actually it never come out. They failed. I never got the product. And I know one of the founders told me that actually they failed at building it. They were not ready to build it. So. Could you help understanding what the process and how can you make sure that the idea you have, you can build it through what you do in your services?
Yeah, basically, just briefly, let's say technology. Yeah, technology is evolving very fast, and there are a lot of new gadgets and new things available, no? The challenge is to define the solution for a real problem, no? So once you have this defined, you identify the new meaning of a product or a service, and then you look to which technology is available in order to achieve that performance or that behavior or that service that has to be delivered. And there is a very, very important part of it, which is the feasibility analysis. No, for this you need a strong team in different fields. No, in my case, of course, we cannot do everything, but we have partnerships. If we're talking about IoT devices, we have partners that are very strong in artificial intelligence, machine learning, the cloud, solutions, and they will give the technical feasibility ingredient, and this has to be done very early in the process of developing a product. So then once the idea is relevant for a user, or for an ecosystem, the technology is in the level that actually can be integrated, to deliver that service. The rest is development, at full speed, and you don't need to develop a fully working, pretty, clean product from the very beginning. What we are pushing is we need to prove that the company is going to be successful. The key is to put it in the market, or to bring into reality a low-cost functional prototype. So we can put it in the hands of users, we can put it in hands of investors, we can put it in hands of the different players to validate that the solution is actually going to be working. It doesn't need to be pretty, as I said. It has to be just something digital or hardware that represents the solution, and we can actually guarantee that it's going to be a business case. Otherwise, it could be a disaster. Like we see many disasters around, with Kickstarter and many other startups that have great ideas, but they are failing to prove their products the end user. No, they are spending a lot of money developing pretty solutions, clean designs, no, stylish designs. But at the end, there was no user, no, there was no need to solve, no, or the technical integration was not good enough, no. They put a lot of hopes in something that is not in their hands.
Let's take an example. I come up with the idea that I want to connect my umbrella with a Bluetooth device and make sure that when I'm too far away from the umbrella, it's pop up on my phone and saying, "Hey, don't forget your umbrella." So a connected umbrella, so I will not forget my umbrella anymore when I'm more than 10 meters away from the umbrella, let's say. So I come up with this idea. Would you be able then to explain how would you create the documents and what's necessary to communicate with the factory? It's what you would do for us, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's not only communicating with the factory, you know. The factory is one piece of the puzzle, but in that specific case, yeah, we will start with let's say defining, no, the scenario, the story, no, that explains, no, the beauty of having this feature, no, between you and the umbrella. Once we have this, we will make a concept of all the functions or features that we would like to have in the umbrella, no? Assuming that all the technology is not a problem. The technology can make it, no? So we need to have it connected to the cloud. We need a proximity sensor. Maybe we need to have a wet, no, sensor. Maybe as insulation, no? How many UV sensors? So all these kind of things we just put it together in a concept. Then we screen down the possibilities to, we do a little bit of research on the market on which sensors are available, which size these sensors are, because maybe there is a sensor that is sold in Europe or in US, but if I cannot find it here in China, it makes no sense that I prepare a solution using a sensor that is not in my reach. If it's big, small, it's horizontal, long, all these kind of things. And I will just get the bits and pieces, no, from these vendors, and the electric team, no, the electric architects, the electronic architects, the guys that are working on with connected technology. They will just make the diagram, know how to connect all these pieces in order to achieve this goal, and we will build a prototype. No, we will have an umbrella with all the instruments that we need. It's not going to be pretty. Maybe it's going to be super heavy.
Then, how much would it cost to work with you if I want to design this umbrella, a range?
Well, in this case would be all the costs, no, of the prototype will be, let's say, cost of the project, and there will be a fee of my services. No, it depends on things, but it's just like a consultancy fee. No, if it's one person or two persons, depending on the demand. Is not a fix that you need to hire people for a month or for a year, no?
Yeah, but are we talking about 5,000 US? Are we talking about 50,000 US? What are we talking about if I need your help to actually design this prototype?
Well, if we're talking about the startup and all this, we're talking about a couple of thousands of US. Let's say the starting with
a couple of thousand, so less than 10,000 and more than 1,000.
Correct. No, depending on the size, depending on what kind of project you are dealing with, no?
I see.
What kind of involvement you need from myself or from my team.
I see. Very interesting. It's soon going to be the end of the talk. A few questions, as we do now. What books inspired you most?
Well, there is one book that I really like to read from time to time. I think it's probably 10 years old. I am not sure about the date, but well, the name is Design Driven Innovation, actually. The author is Roberto Verganti. It's I believe it's an American Italian guy, and this book is talking about how to change the rules of designing products. No, it's not only about doing radical technology, no, improvements. It's about doing radical developing of radical development of new meanings. No, that would be just to give a quick example. In the past, Airbnb, no, broke the meaning of the hotel industry. No, before was I want to be in a hotel with all the services, my most luxury room with the nicest view. But now the meaning is that if you're a traveler, you want to have an experience that connects you, know, with the real life in a community or in a city. Mm-hmm.
Interesting. What do you read in order to be up to date about China, about China's economy, China's society?
Well, in that case, I will recommend. I read a lot, like a local information, like let's say from China Daily, no, to understand, no, the formal point of view of different developments that are happening here. There are digital media resources like Walk the Chat or China Chat, or the information that is generated by a media group, Chinese, KR36. They are a media.
This is in Chinese, right? KR36, KR Central.
They are Chinese. They have a very large community, like in the tens of thousands of startups in China. So yeah, their information most of it is in Chinese. They are pushing this year to be global. So those startups that they have that are able to speak in English, they are connecting with companies like us. But yeah, most of their information is in Chinese. But if you want to understand China, you need to connect with resources that are in Chinese. Otherwise, you will miss the big picture. And other two sources that I found very useful is McKinsey has a section that is insights, and they have a specific section of Chinese insights. They have very good articles about technology and how things are working here. And also from the World Economic Forum, in their website, they have an insights page. You have to get an account. It's free, and they have a lot of curated articles and information in many interesting technological fields. And they have a room specifically for China. And I found that one really that keeps me up to date in many topics.
Thanks, that's helpful. I will check them. What book on China would you recommend?
Book on China. There is one book that I've been it's in my bureau at home. I have not been very good finishing it. I've been reading it already for a long time. I need to find more time for that. But the name is Country Driving from Peter Hessler. It's a book that is explaining how China has evolved, from a farming driven society to a factory, and now a high-tech global engine, and this has been happening for a very short time, like 26 years has taken to have this big jump. I have found a lot of interesting information, understanding China history and how China has been evolving. I think it's very good to understand where it is going.
As an entrepreneur, what productivity tool do you use? Productivity tool to manage your work, your time, your life?
Yeah, well, the productivity tool that we are using today is Team Vision. It's project management, task management tool based on some Western tools. But this one, if you're in China, there are some tools that are not fully compatible, no, with China and Western internet environments. But Team Vision has this ability, no? Actually, it was developed by Chinese and is fully functional, no? I would say it's an improved version of some Western tools, and lately was bought by Alibaba. So this is giving them a lot of push and connectivity with tools like Zoom and other tools.
Impressive. We used Team Vision in the past, and indeed, it was a good tool. And I didn't know they were bought by Alibaba. It's great news for them. If you had extra time, what idea would you like to work on?
Which idea I would like to work on? Well, that's I just going back to my roots, no, mechanical engineering. I like a lot all these additive manufacturing tools. So I would like to put more time on maybe the development of a multi-material, multifunctional 3D printing, or let's say additive manufacturing assembly line. No, it's not. I believe it's not only one machine. It requires different machines. But that could be something that I would like to do. But hopefully I can find time to spend on that.
So you have been in China for a while now. What is interesting to you to stay in China? What makes it so interesting, attractive?
Well, I think one of the beauties of being in China is that everything is evolving, super fast. You can sense, you can see in the streets, you can experience yourself how everything is evolving, no? From transportation, payment systems, health records. Now you have face recognition things in airports, in shops, in buildings. Some buildings are fully instrumented. They are tracking, no, in which areas you are in the building, if you like the coffee or not, if you're happy or not after drinking that coffee. So all these things are happening in a very fast pace, no, and that I really like, no. I think we are in the tip of the wave, no, in technology and innovation.
Last two questions. Actually, they are very similar. One is, what unexpected success have you analyzed in China, and one unexpected failure have you analyzed in China? Seems the internet is not working again. I don't know if you can hear me. So it seems that we have to stop the podcast. Thanks, Luis, for having joined us, and I hope everyone liked the talk. You're reconnecting. Anyway, I take advantage of that to tell everyone that if you like the show, if you like listening to us, please put a star on iTunes or Spotify, and comment on the podcast. Will help us a lot, and talk about the podcast to your friends, and for them to subscribe. So
what about now?
Now it's working. I cannot see you, but I can hear you.
Okay. And now you're frozen.
Okay, it works for me. We are recording. Maybe we can end up with this conclusion, what unexpected success have you seen in China that you'd like to talk about and analyze?
Well, yeah, the unexpected success is how all the solutions and yeah, all the actions that Chinese government and Chinese entrepreneurs are doing on smart cities. No, you can really see not only cameras, you can see how they are managing the traffic, managing different energy supplies, different things in the city. So this is a very large scale initiative, but you can really see, how China's cities are evolving to be smart digital cities, and this is very, very impressive. That I was not. Got me by surprise, the speed how this is happening.
Yes, thank you, Luis, for joining, and sorry for the listeners for the technological issues we had along the talk. I hope during the cutoff it will work fine, and the editing will make it good enough. Thanks again, Luis, and I hope everyone enjoyed the talk. Thanks. Bye, everyone.
Thank you very much, Matthew. I enjoyed it a lot. Thank you.